Okay, I am now going to attempt to explain how SCM TimeDrops works. Prerequisites: you must have a session with events and people nominated to those events, and you've got there and hit the old big build me all my heats, up here, heats. Build heats. This one here builds all the heats for the whole session. Or, there's another button down here, that spanner, build heats. So you need session, events, people nominated, and you've constructed your heats. You got to do that before you can do anything else. And then you go and run TimeDrops. And we're going to connect. It's a local server, and we're using OS authentication. Okay. All right. First thing up, it's going to ask you what session are you actually going to use. I'm going to use this one, and it's got lots of stuff in it. Okay. Step number 2 is to go export TimeDrops Meet program. I'm going to click on that. It's going to put it into the TimeDrops Meets folder, and I have 2 options here. I'm not going to explain what they are. I'm just going to use the basic one and click, and it's done. Now if we have a little sticky beak at wherever that is, this is the actual folder, the TimeDrops folder, and I've only just in Meets, I've just put this Meet program, and it's quite big. It's gigantic, it's got lots of stuff, and that's just the basic one. All right, and now what happens? Well, we come back here to the app and we wait. That's right, we wait for something to happen. So a race has been run, the times are in, being caught, captured by TimeDrops, and what TimeDrops does is it builds one of these little files. Here we are, event 1, heat 1, session 139. It builds this thing, and then it pops it into that Meets folder, just like that. And then what do we see? Well, here we are sitting back on the app, and we get this, it pops up, and we click on it, and we just have loaded the first event, event 1, heat 2, and sometime later on, the same process occurs again. There's event heat number 2, goes into the Meets folder. We get notified that another one's dropped in. And if we were to look at this, we'd see we've got 2 heats that have just come in. Total, yes. So here I am on event 5 in Swim Club Meet, 50 minutes freestyle, heat 1. But over here I'm on event 1, heat 1. I'm just going to hit the sync button, and that'll just put those 2, they'll line up, we hope. Next, sync, there we go. You get the idea. All right, so over this side, on the TimeDrops side of things, what do? Well, we've got a whole bunch of times, and we can hit the post button, and we can post all, and all that stuff on the right will go into all the stuff on the left. As you may already notice, there is some times already in this session. Ignore that, pretend it's blank. But that's what will happen when you hit the post. You send stuff from the right to the left. Now, you might say, well, this time over here, race time in this column, which I'm about to send, is incorrect. So at the moment, we're using the automatic calculate the time thingy. And you might say, I have some problems with that time. So there's various things you can do. Picture that there is actually 3 times, 3 timekeepers. So you may see timer B and timer C, and auto will calculate what time it should show, Now that can vary based on your preferences. For instance, it also checks the deviation between the 3 timekeepers. That's this top line up here. At the moment it's 0.3. It also has 2 methods to calculate the standard method or SCM method, okay, depending on what you pick. But either way, it works out what the time should be. Now, not happy with it? Well then, if you keep clicking on here, you'll go through various modes. There's a manual mode. There's this manual edit or edit race time mode. There's a split mode. There's a mode where you just can create blank time or no time. All right, I've already mentioned what auto does. Manual allows you to, if you hold down the Alt key, is to select what timekeeper you don't want to use or do want to use. And that will affect what race time you see. Yeah. If we keep clicking again, we can go into this ME mode. And if I click here, it allows me to actually change it. So I'm going to change that to a 7. There we go. And so this now varies from that. And if I go post and I go post selected lanes, I go post. Now Florence is 3:07. Mind you, I could just go back and put the actual time in, the correct time. And now Florence has the 3:60. Okay, so ME allows you to actually physically modify the actual race time. So you can put anything in, basically. What's after ME is split. Split is if you got pads, timing pads, then it will find the last timing pad time and it will pop it into the race time column. Yep. So that means it ignores all the timekeepers. It just gives you the time that the last pad came up with. Okay, the last touch on the timing pad or pads. Yep. And then, as I've already stated, then you've got the null one. So, and it remembers all that. So if I go over to the next event, it's all on auto, but here's everything's on all over the place. Yep. So you get the idea. You can sort of narrow down and use really fine tune what time to put in and send or post to Swim Club Meet. Under preferences, you can go a little deeper because there's the Swim Club SCM method, auto method, but there is also TimeDrops offers you a final time. And by turning that on and closing this, you'll notice that those watches now have turned to TimeDrops. So it's using the TimeDrops method for automatically working out what time to use. And finally, you can, on the next one, you can use TimeDrops version of what is the correct pad time to put in there to be using, etc. So that's all under preferences. Yep. All right. And anything else I want to show you? Mention? Not really. I think it's all self-explanatory. So we'll leave it there. This is an alpha, so there are little things I've already noticed that need a little bit of UI things that need fixing. But I think for the most part it looks pretty stable to me. I've got to do some more tests with multiple timekeepers, and there's a few more tools I've got to use to do that. So, but I'm gonna leave it here. I think you've got enough to get going, and we'll catch you on the next one.